and some great ideas and, just a lot of insight as you start to think about either the design or the redesign of your high ticket group coaching program. It's really, really exciting when we think about how successful a group coaching program can be and how profitable it can be when it's designed and delivered properly in a way that we really leverage client success. So I've always been a client first business, and that is the number one most important thing to me, is how can we make the experience better for the clients so they can get bigger, better, faster, easier results on repeat when they're working with us. And it's just not how a lot of business owners think today. It's not how a lot of business owners think. It's not how a lot of coaches think. We do live in an online space where everyone is high pressured and high stressed to get sales, to grow their audience, right? To reach their goals and to hit their numbers, and to generate the sales. It's very, very internally focused right now with like just everything going on in the world and with social media platforms and algorithm and things that used to work so well just don't work at all today. And across the board, I think everyone is experiencing a really big dip in social media engagement. Engagement is low right now in groups. Just on social media, especially Facebook, right? Algorithm is really down, and you might notice like your videos aren't getting as much engagement. On the surface, your metrics look kind of low compared to what they used to be or previously were. And this is kind of just happening across the board. And this is why it's so important that when you make an investment in yourself through a coach or a program or a mentor or some kind of personal development or business development, you need to be thinking about, is this person going to help me create sustainable results like over and over for the long term? Or is this like, I'm just going to learn a tactic, or I'm just going to learn like a quick little strategy, or I'm just going to get brushed up or touched up on this topic right here, right? You really want to be thinking about how can you design a high ticket group coaching program that gives you that repeatable, predictable, recurring revenue where you aren't struggling and stressing financially every other month or every 2 months or over and over again, or having big wins and then huge dips that last a while. You just want to be thinking about that repeatable, recurring revenue. There's not really many businesses right now with the way things are that are going to make it if they don't have recurring revenue. If they're really struggling with big revenue dips and having a hard time generating like any consistent amount of revenue, they're going to have a really hard time, because we really aren't seeing the worst. Not to put fear in anybody, but like, honestly, we're not seeing the worst with social media and algorithms and what's going on in the world right now. And these are all really impacting engagement and visibility and people investing. So more and more people are going to want to invest in a longer term transformation with bigger results for themselves versus all of these shiny, like quick little wins or short-lived success or quick little tactics. People, especially people that are serious about their business, are going to be making bigger investments. They're going to want to be in the room with more people and better people and bigger people, and they're going to be wanting bigger transformation. And so less and less, especially for a couple of years, we're going to start seeing a dip in people investing in like cookie cutter stuff or quick tactic or a quick strategy or low ticket offers. Those types of things are going to stop because the people buying them don't have a lot of money to begin with. And so as we go through this next dip that we will be experiencing in the economy, as we go through that, the people that are going to be investing are the people that are already profitable in their business, already successful, and they have access to funds. And the people invested in those tiny offers are going to take a break for a little while. A lot of them are going to fall off, and a lot are going to just take a break because they're the ones that don't have the money to invest. So when things get tough, they're the first ones to fall off. So the way that you can look at this with your business is your lowest paying clients are probably going to be the first people to say, I need to cancel my contract, or I need to put it on hold, or I can't make this payment. I can't afford it right now. I'm going to need to cancel. because they're the ones that don't have any money. And as things get worse in the economy, and things happen over the next year or two, because we're getting ready to go right back into another little recession. And as we do that, the first people falling off are going to be your lowest paying clients. So I want you guys to just consider that. We don't sell low ticket offers. Okay, we work with higher level clients, and we have year-long investments and year-long recurring revenue from our clients. And we're helping our clients create repeatable, sustainable, recession-proof businesses. Regardless of what's going on in the world, we are helping them attract and call in and lead champion clients inside transformational programs. And that is much different than a low ticket cookie cutter course. Okay, so wanted to just kind of kick things off with that, because I'm really hoping that we're starting to see the bigger picture here with what we're trying to do. This is not just about us making money and reaching our goals and putting money in our bank accounts. This is about you and your clients having sustainable results and success for years to come. Right. And this is a fantastic way. A high ticket group coaching program is a fantastic way to create this in your life as well as in your client's life. Let's go ahead and get recorded, and we are going to get started. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, loving this. Okay, so let's go ahead and start in, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to look at your workbook. So hopefully you were able to get that printed out. We're going to go ahead and look at the workbook, and what we're going to do today, which is actually going to be fun, is we're really going to focus today on we're going to be looking at the design of your group coaching program. Now, if you already have a group coaching program, you're going to be looking at how can you redesign, not burn it down, build it back up, but just make some tweaks. And you're also not going to make all of the tweaks we talk about today right away. You're going to pick just a couple, and we're going to kind of spread that out with some timelines, right? So we're not looking, again, this isn't like, oh my God, I got to burn everything down that I built and I have to rebuild. Absolutely not. If you don't have a group high ticket group coaching program yet, but maybe you're booked out with your one-on-one coaching or practice, and you're ready to add this leveraged opportunity in this revenue stream of a high ticket group coaching program, then this is going to be perfect for you. Glad you made it, Karen. This is going to be absolutely perfect for you as well. Okay, so that's kind of what we're going to focus on, either the design or the redesign of your high ticket group coaching program. And we're also going to talk about the format. So I'm going to go over the systems with you. I have quite a few systems. We're going to go over the systems that you want to have in place for repeatable, sustainable scale. We're going to talk about the format and the delivery options, and you're not going to do them all, but we're definitely going to play and pick with those. And we're also going to talk about some of the program design that you want to be looking at and making some decisions on. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of fun today, and you're going to have a lot of clarity walking away from here. You're going to you should feel really, really inspired, and you should feel really, really excited about what you're about to create or recreate with your high ticket group coaching program. So if we head over, the first thing that we want to do, and I want to give a side note, I want you to think, if you can, about 5 years into the future when you're designing and making these decisions with your program. Because like I mentioned before, right, this is not, your group coaching program is not a one-hit wonder, right? It's not a one and done. You're going to create this group coaching program. You're going to lead this group coaching program, and you're going to improve it for years to come, right? Our Profitable Entrepreneur program is going on 6 years now. We took a year break to revamp and redesign and all of that, but like it's been running for 6 years, and our launches, our workshops have always led into it pretty much the same way every time, right? So with the idea behind this is we're building that brand. And so when you're thinking about the design and the format and delivery options of your group coaching program, I don't want you to just think about today and like right now and what's going on in your life in the moment. I really want you thinking, wow, this is my legacy. This is my empire. I'm going to have this is my signature program. I'm going to have this for years. And I just want you to think a little bit beyond right now, because we don't always make the smartest decisions when we're in the moment of like, I don't have all the things I want. We tend to definitely, make decisions a bit differently. Okay. So I want to give that side note as we're doing this. Think big. Think bigger than right in this very moment. Okay. I want to really encourage you to do that. The first thing, if you look on page 1 of your workbook, we're talking about your program promise. Now, the program promise is that one result. We talked about this yesterday. The one result that's going to be on your sales pages, in your sales conversations, in your invitations on social media and via email or wherever you are on social. The one thing you're going to constantly be talking about, the one thing that you're going to constantly be sharing and putting a lot of focus and energy around is that one transformation, that one result, or that one outcome that your program is leading people to. Now, I don't care. It does not matter what your niche is or what type of clients you work with, or none of that stuff matters. You can still lead someone to one result. Okay. I think that when we have people that are like, yeah, but I help my clients get like 50 things, that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. You can't put 50 outcomes in one program. That's impossible. You can't do it, right? Now, if you're creating a multi-year group coaching program like what I have, mine is a multi-year, meaning that clients sign up, they spend a year with us, they go through the process, they sign up and renew for another year. They're going through for the live coaching, the community, but also they're continuing to fine tune and master the process. No one's going to master anything you teach them in 6 months. They're going to get good at it. And they're probably going to get it down. They're not masterful at it. I'm 20 years in business. I'm still mastering all of my skill. Where this is an ongoing process. So when you're thinking about your group coaching program, that's why I said this is a multi-year thing. You're going to be doing this for years because there's no client that's going to come in and master anything in under a year. And even in a year's time, they're going to evolve and grow, which comes with new challenges and obstacles. And there's going to be more work to do, right? Your curriculum is only one part of your program. It's not everything. People are not just staying to relearn your trainings. They're staying for the community, the coaching, the evolution, the growth, to be in the room with the people, the community, and to continue to grow and get better and to work through the things that are coming up as they evolve, right? So when you think about your program promise, you're thinking about, if I had to explain this to a 15-year-old and tell them, when you join this program, we help you do this. Working together, we do this. I help my clients accomplish this. So if I wanted to be really simple, my one promise inside of my Profitable Entrepreneur Program is that you will learn the skills and the systems and strategy to create $1 million business with a high-ticket group coaching program. That's what I promise. I'm not promising you 7,000 things. You're going to learn a lot, you're going to grow a lot, and you're going to accomplish a lot of things. And that is the truth. But I don't need to advertise all of that because my clients don't need to hear all that. They don't need to know every little detail of what's going to go on in this program. It's overwhelming and it's confusing. And the thing is, guys, no matter how you slice and dice it, I've been doing group programs now for over 10 years. I've worked behind the scenes of multi-million-dollar coaching companies. And we're seeing this across the board. You cannot have a bunch of promises inside one program. You as a leader can't physically do it. You cannot sustain it. You cannot sustain 50 to 100 people asking you 50 to 100 different questions on every call and then helping each single one of them get the individual result they're all trying to get in one program. That is impossible and it's not even sustainable, right? One of the 8-figure companies that I just worked for had a massive crash and had to literally redesign the whole company because that's exactly what happened in the program. Way too many types of people across the globe, and everyone had a different goal. Everyone had a different business. Everyone had a different niche. Everyone had a different set of problems. Everyone required a different level of support and accountability and coaching. It was a hot freaking mess and it crashed. I think it survived 1 year. And then boom, clients were like, yep, we're out. And that is because you can't physically, without having a team of like 1,000 people, you can't physically say, I'm going to help you do anything you need in this program. Or I'm going to help you do these 8 things for each person. Because this is what creates so much not client work, but this is what creates so much work for you as the leader. Because what do you have to do for each person coming in to your program with a different niche, a different problem, a different need, a different desire, and a different way of being coached? What do you think you have to do as the leader to help make sure that person's set up for success and can actually achieve their goals inside your program? You have to customize. Write that down. You have to customize. We're not doing that. Write it down and then cross it out. Everyone's writing it down and they're like, damn it, and now I got to cross it out. Write it down, cross it out. We're not customizing in a group program. We teach a methodology. We teach a curriculum. We teach a proven process, which means everyone in the program is working to that specific outcome all together. People are coming in at different times because if you have it open rolling, right, rolling a mission, but everybody's working toward the same kind of goal, the same sort of outcome. They all want to achieve the same thing. So guess what that means? You literally create your curriculum and it's done. Everybody follows it. That means you don't have to do any extra teaching or recording or content creation, because you're not creating a new curriculum for every client in your program. That's ridiculous, right? I did that actually for a couple of years where it was like every person in the program needed kind of something different. So they were like, well, what about this? Well, I have a question about this. Or how do you do this though? And none of it had to do with like the actual program promise, because I didn't have one. It was like, come into this coaching program. We'll get you whatever you need, right? And then all kinds of different people. And then I, as the leader, was having to constantly create different trainings for each person in the program because they were all different. And one curriculum didn't suit them all. And none of them were working toward the same thing. They all had different things they were doing. Imagine putting 50 to 100 people in a program, one container like that, and you as the only person leading and coaching them. Imagine the effort and the commitment and time and energy that is going to take from you. And you're probably going to get so exhausted that you can't even give your best to your clients and they're just going to fail. And you are going to be like, I am fed up and done. And I see this in 8-figure companies. So this is, and I experienced this for a couple of years. So I really want you to take this in. I want you to think of what your program promises in the most simplified, dummy down way you can. Like literally any person reading it understands, oh, okay, that's what you're going to help do. Or that's what this space is for. That's what this program is going to help me accomplish. Perfect. I understand what I'm getting here, right? This isn't about, your program promise is not about explaining every single little thing that you're going to help people do. It's about, this is the one thing we're all working toward in this program. So look at it like you go to the movies and you buy a ticket for a certain movie. Every single person in there is watching the same movie, right? We're all watching the same movie. We're not in one room and there's 50 screens and we're all watching a different movie. Think of it like that, okay? That's kind of what we're looking at with your program. It's a specific person following a specific structure or process, all working toward the same kind of outcome. Numbers might be different, things might fluctuate, but they're all working toward the same thing so that when you coach them and train them, it's all on the same stuff. Right? You don't have one saying, oh, I'm not doing group programs. I'm selling, low ticket courses, automation funnels. And now you're like, what? Trying to juggle both of those on a call. It's confusing. So I want you to think of the one outcome result like we did yesterday. That's the promise of your program. It is client, follow this 3-5 step, whatever you have, follow this methodology, this framework, this proven process, you will get this outcome right here. This is what you will achieve or accomplish by the end of that framework, right? So if you go to your gym and they say, if you want to lose 50 pounds in this amount of days, these are the reps we're going to have you do. This is the equipment you're going to use, and these are the reps you're going to do, and this is how many and for how long. And by the end of it, if you do those, you will have this outcome of losing 50 pounds. So you want to think about your process, and we're going to create your curriculum tomorrow, but I want you to think about the one result, outcome, experience, transformation that you're leading all of your clients to as they go through your process. If you're listening in here today and you're like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what you're talking about, I don't know how I could do this, there's a couple things going on. Number one, you probably are not booked out solid in your one-on-one practice. Okay, which means you probably haven't worked with enough clients to know this yet. Okay, or number two, it could just be that you haven't run a group program before. You've worked with clients, but you've worked with so many different clients in so many ways that you haven't created a process. So you don't know like what that actual process is that is proven that will get someone one specific result. And that might be why you're having a hard time with it. So my recommendation there is it's probably not the best time to do a group coaching program. We probably need to dial in some one-on-one where you can really customize the experience with a one-on-one client, fine-tune your process that you can say, hey, I do know, I can guarantee if this type of client here follows these steps right here, they will have this result. How do I know? Because I've done it with my one-on-one clients. I have proof. I've proven this process. So I think that that is a very critical component because I see this a lot with group coaching programs. A lot of coaches today, they want to skip that one-on-one work, or they want to skip and get to the leveraged income, right? The recurrent leverage one-to-many revenue, which makes sense. It's easier, it's faster, it's way more money, it's a bigger impact. And also we love teaching and coaching. So it's like, it's fun, right? To get a bunch of people and do it. But the only problem is what I see is a lot of coaches that don't have a proven process and they're not clear, they can't communicate. This is who I work with. This is what we help you do. And we use this curriculum or this framework. This is how we do it. It's proven it works. It's very hard to sell something that you don't feel really good about or confident in. If you have reservation or doubts about what your ability is to help somebody get to a result, if you feel like you can't confidently tell somebody, I can help you accomplish this by doing this in this amount of time, that just means that you don't have that process down yet. And so if you create a group program, which is a lot of work, we're talking about it now, it's amazing. It is extremely profitable and it's well worth it, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to really get it profitable and masterful and easy to sell. And that's why this is a multi-year thing, right? We're doing this for years to come. But if you don't have this proven process and you haven't worked with enough clients, this is going to be extremely difficult for you. And I can't really say that following what I teach is going to help you get the results without it being really, really hard and taking probably longer than maybe some others. So I just kind of want to get the wheels turning on that. And I want you to just be really honest because I want you to set yourself up for success. And I don't want you to create something that you're not set up to sustain, right? Regardless of why that is. Okay, so you guys know I like to have some fun. And before we get into the content in the workbook, I want to do a breakout session because these are so fun. I want to do a breakout, but we're going to do, okay, so here's what we're going to do today. It's going to be just a little bit different. So we're going to do breakouts of either 2 or 3, okay? We're going to do about 5 minutes. So depending on how many people are in your group, you each have about 2.5 minutes max. And then if somebody wants to drop this in the comments for me, if anyone loves to write and take notes, if you want to drop it in, there's 3 things that I actually want you guys to share with each other in this breakout. Okay, we're just going to go rapid fire for a 5-minute total. We're going to come back to this room. We're getting into the workbook. We're going to design your group signature program in your format. Okay, but I want to do this so we can all relax, kind of shake out the nerves, connect. So here's the 3 things if anyone wants to drop this in. The first thing is I just want you to share who you are. And I know we did this yesterday, but you might be in the room with someone different today. So your name, who you are, what you do. Okay, so just who you are. And then I want you to share what is one thing that brought you to this workshop. Okay, why are you here? Why are you here? Why did you sign up and join? What brought you here? And then the next thing I want you to share is what do you love most about a group? And it doesn't need to be business. It doesn't need to be a business group. This could be your church group. It could be your community group. This could be maybe you have a book club. It could be business. It could be a group business thing. But what do you love most about just being part of some kind of group atmosphere? Okay. And then the final thing is, what do you think could make your group program better? And if you don't have one yet that you've launched, if you don't have one yet, I want you to just think about what types of things from what we've talked about, because we talked a lot yesterday, right? About elements to add to your group coaching program to make it exceptional and competitionless. So I want you to think about, if you don't already have a group program, what is something that what we've covered so far, or just anything you have been sparked to think about and create as we've gone through this so far, that would make it more exceptional than maybe your traditional programs. Okay. So think about programs you've been in. Think about programs maybe you've created in the past. Okay. Think about business, think about personal. What do you love? And where can we also make it even more exceptional? Okay. So we're gonna drop these here. Okay. I think we have people that have been putting it in the chat. Thank you so much. I'm gonna put the questions here. Okay. I'm just dropping them in the chat for you guys as well. For the breakout, Amber, we're just going to give me a minute. Let me just make sure everybody gets this. Okay, those are the questions. So basically, for those of you that aren't familiar with the breakout, this is something we mentioned yesterday. We want you to include in your group coaching programs. Okay, like on your group calls, do some breakouts. On your welcome calls for new people coming into your program, breakouts, right? Make it really fun. Get people to kind of loosen up, shake off the dust, and kind of feel a little bit connected. And so the breakout is basically, I just put you guys in rooms. I'm not assigning, I'm just letting it automatically pick 2 to 3 people per group. And then in those groups, you're just going to each have about 2, max of 2.5 minutes. We're going to spend total of 5 minutes. And then I'm going to bring you back here to answer these 3 questions. So who are you? Your name and what you do. We want to know, we also want to know, what do you love most about being part of a group, any group? Online, offline, personal, business, anything related, just being part of a group atmosphere. And then I want you to think about what you could do better inside of your program, your group program. And if you don't have one yet, what might it be, an element you could bring and incorporate that would make it even that much better, more exceptional. Okay. These are going to be fun. So let's go ahead and get you guys into breakout rooms. Let's see, we will do 3 breakout rooms, and then I'll bring you guys right back here. Beautiful. Awesome. And for those that are joining us on Facebook, feel free to go ahead and pop any of the answers to those questions in the chat if you'd like to do that. We're happy to just kind of chat there as well. Awesome. We have 2 more minutes. And no worries, Anne. Hopefully tomorrow you can join live. No worries for now. All right, 1 more minute. We'll all come back. All right, everyone is coming back. All right. Give everyone a second to just get back in the room. Perfect. All right. So welcome back. Welcome back. You guys are gone for a whopping 5 minutes. Welcome back. No, but for real, what I would love for you guys to do is share in the comments. Like, what do you think about that experience? I know it's 5 minutes. It's short. It's intentionally supposed to be that way, or we could all talk for hours. And this is also a great practice to get good at simplifying what we're saying and how we talk about what we do. There's a lot of method, guys, behind the madness here. But Lisa said, I love meeting everyone else. I think that is the best part. I absolutely love when I join a program and there's kind of already people in there, being able to be brought into a room with these people and kind of, round robin and connect with all these people and learn so much about the amazing people that you are spending time with, right? Like, you guys are all showing up here. We could just be bobbleheads staring at the Zoom screen, or we can get in rooms together and connect and bond and share who we are and what we do and why we're here, and learn about the other talent that's in this room. I think that there is a magic behind that. And I'm going to tell you that I've left very high level programs that didn't provide that, where I saw there were so many people. I wanted to get to know these people, right? And I'll tell you another thing, in most of my group coaching programs, I'm going to say this: many of the people, the clients in my programs, they hire within the program, meaning they find talent that's in the program and they're like hiring their team members. They are partnering together, strategic partnerships. They are collaborating together to help each other reach goals and fill launches and all of these things. And they're referring to one another. There's a magic behind having this element in your program. Even if you start with 5 people paying you, 10 or 12,000 a year, and you might feel like that is small, but that intimacy will keep your program alive. And those bonds and relationships that happen are what's going to keep those 5 people there. So you want to start right from day one, building these elements in. Okay, cool. I am loving. It is good discipline. When we do co-working sessions in my programs, I'm like, you can ask my clients, I'm like, guys, you have 5 minutes. Post these 3 things on 3 platforms. Here's the swipe, go. You have 5 minutes and we're done. And my client's like, oh my gosh. And we did a co-working session either last week or the week before, and I had them do a couple of posts I gave them the swipe, like 5 minutes, go. And then I was like, okay, now you have 60 seconds. Here's a swipe. I want everyone to do a story on Instagram or Facebook. Don't worry about your hair. Don't worry about what you look like. These ladies did not know we were doing this. And guess what? They all pulled up their phones. I saw them on my phone going live, doing the thing imperfectly. It's magical. And it's really good to just get good at practicing, do the thing quick, and don't overthink it so much that you paralyze yourself. And then we don't get the thing done, right? Okay, so let's go into your workbook. I want you to go to, I believe it is page, I don't even know where we're at, but I think it is page 3. Oh, it's page 1. It's page 1. So we talked about your program promise. Okay, we did talk about that. We talked about the program promise. You'll continue to evolve with that. I want you guys to define a price point. This is not like set in stone, can't ever do anything else. This is what it is. Okay, but I want you to define a price for your group coaching program. And I want you to just be thinking about some different factors when it comes to the pricing of your program. Your price attracts your people. I'll say it again. Your price attracts your people. The price points that Gucci has for their handbags is intentional. There's a certain type of person that shops at that store and pays a certain amount of money for a certain item. Those people don't need to be begged. Those people don't need to be convinced. They are going there to buy that product, the Gucci product, and they know they're not walking out of there without spending a couple $1,000s, right? But why are they doing that? Because they value the product and there's an emotional connection. The emotional connection is it's a recognized brand that people are going to see me wearing and using. It's a status. People, I will feel successful, wealthy, pretty, established, accomplished, and my neighbors and all the people out and about who see me will also think that. It is a status. I don't care how we slice and dice it. It really is a status. So in this world, some people feel like, oh, a lot of people are broke. A lot of people are financially struggling. A lot of people don't have money. Equally, a lot of people are very wealthy. A lot of people have a ton of money, and a lot of people are invested. There's two sides to the coin. It's not one side. There's not just poverty. Okay. There's that. And then there's the other side of it, which is wealthy. And the people that are invested are the people with money. Period. Broke people cannot invest money. They have no money to invest. Right? It's not good, bad, right, wrong, guys. This is just business. It's just the reality of it, is that there's people that have money and there's people that don't have money. And if you are selling to the population that doesn't have any money, then you just have to ask yourself, how am I going to make money off an audience that doesn't have money? Then how will I make money with my service? And the thing is that your price attracts a type of person. Neither are good, bad, right, or wrong. They're just not the same people. The first 5 years of my business, my mentor told me, Anne, you're getting rich off people who have no money. Why did she say that to me? Because I wouldn't raise my price. I continued to undercharge, and I continued to go after and solve broke people problems. Not good, bad, right, wrong, just what it was. And I spent 5 years solving broke people's problems. Here was the problem. I couldn't raise my prices. They couldn't afford it. I couldn't make more money because I couldn't take on any more clients. I had to take on 100 or more clients just to make $10,000 a month at the prices I was charging. I couldn't do it. And so my impact shrunk. I began turning people away. I struggled to help these people because they weren't at the right place they needed to be. So I was having a really hard time. So clients weren't getting results. They couldn't afford my program. There was so much of that. As soon as I raised my price, I attracted a different person who had money to invest, helped me get rich whatever that looks like for you. And then I had money, which created time freedom. I hired, I delegated, I set up systems. I was able to scale because I had money and time. And then I was able to give back. So all those people that were broke and had no money and couldn't afford to be in my higher level programs, guess what we got to do? Throw some rafters out there for free or low tickets, because we could. We had team and systems and money and time, right? I started being able to feed families because I could feed my own now. I had time to give to charities and participate in my community because I had time to do that because I had money. So at the end of the day, we have to understand the psychology. That is my background. We have to understand the business is different from what you personally, emotionally think and feel. And just your circumstances are your reality, but they're not the world's reality. So that means you might be struggling with your prices, but that does not mean there's poor people that can't afford higher prices. That just means that you have a barrier or a breakdown when it comes to pricing, and you need to identify where is that coming from. Is it that I just think people can't afford it? Is it that I think that people don't have money? Is it that I would never invest this much? Is it that I feel like it's a lot of money because I don't have this kind of money? Just identify where it comes from and then take action accordingly. So I call it stair stepping, which is what I teach my clients. Don't try to go from $500 to $20,000. Your mindset's probably not going to support it, but maybe you could go from 500 to 1,500, right? Or 1,000 or 500 to 800. You figure out for you what feels good, but the goal is you're gradually and consistently raising your prices, because there's no business that can survive if they're broke. We can't help people. We can't have an impact if we don't have any money. You can't give from an empty cup, and you can't give what you don't have, right? We can't do it. By raising your prices, here's what I try to say. Raising your prices, and this might be helpful. Raising your prices is not about you making more money. See, that feels good, right? Raising your prices is not about you making more money. Raising your prices is about being able to create a bigger impact for other people. Who are the people that can win and have an impact with you? I'll tell you, the people who have money to invest, the people already doing things, people already accomplishing something, people already in motion. Those are the people, right? Raising your price is about you working with a higher caliber person who has money. This is like saying, I want to go build a house on this land, right? And I'm going to go and I'm going to hire an investment property person or whatever. And those people have no money to invest in your property, right? That's what it's like. It's like literally you're asking people to pay you money that they don't have, and you know they don't have. It doesn't make sense. How hard do you think you're going to have to work to convert them? Really, really, really hard. And if you got to work to drag them in, honey, you're working to drag them around. It just is what it is. Been in business 2 decades. It's not changing. As much as I wish it was different and it would change, it's not. This is psychology. This is scientific, and this is just proven history. So I just want you thinking about what's coming up with the price thing. Okay. We ideally recommend, or I am going to recommend, that you're not charging anything less than $10,000 for a 12-month program. It's ridiculous if you go any lower than that. Okay. Obviously, if people pay in full, there might be a little bit of a lower thing or whatever, or you might start somewhere just a tad under that. And then right after your first launch, you might raise that up. The point is, you're not going to make money if the people you're selling to and the problem you're solving are broke people who don't have money to invest. It doesn't make them bad. It makes them broke. They can't afford you. So you're not going to be, what you have to look at, if you're always undercharging to serve the poverty population, there's no up from there. Start at the top, and then you get to go down and help all these other people. Right? They need a lot more, and you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to start at the bottom and work your way up. You want to start from the top and work your way down. Kind of like put the mask on you first, and then you can help your family and your kids. Right now, people run the business backwards. Okay. And this is why we're struggling. It's a very different, space today online than it previously was. Okay. So these are very important things to be thinking about. Okay. The next thing I want you to be looking at in the next little box on that page 1 is we have your length and your term of your program. So I want you to be thinking about, the length and the term of the program in the sense of, are you going to have this be 6 months? Is it going to be 12? Now, here's the thing with this, okay? 6 months or 12 months, there's a couple things. Number one, you can't even deliver a baby in under 9 months. So for me, I kind of feel like, what can you really accomplish in 6 months? You'll probably get some momentum, you get some like good traction going, but like, are we going to have massive transformation that's lifelong for years to come? And it's going to be beautiful in 6 months? Probably not. And even a year, it's like, you're just building up this momentum and you're just hitting like an up level, which comes with all kinds of other stuff. So it's like, you're still working on stuff, right? So my recommendation is that your high ticket group coaching program is 12 months. Okay. You could start at 6, but I'm going to recommend 12 because we are looking for high caliber people that are wanting to have community and transformation. In 6 months, your people are just getting connected. Traction is just starting to happen. It's not quite enough time. Okay. The other thing too, is it's recurring revenue for you. Imagine 10 or 15 people joining a $10,000 or $12,000 program, signing a contract for an entire year with you. Recurring revenue for 12 months to come, right? And while you guys are writing this down, I'm just going to let my French bulldog out, Ella, because I cannot do the snoring in the background. Anyone who's been a client of mine or been in my space, we know Ella, okay? She's star of the show, and she's usually the loudest one in the background. And she snores, and I don't know what it sounds like, but you guys have described it quite odd. And I'm like, okay, as I talk, she gets crazy loud, so she's out. Hey, what would this be if we didn't have a little bit of laughter, right? Okay, so just going back again, I want you to think about 6 months versus 12 months. I like to think, if my clients really want to come have a transformation, it's going to take some time. I don't want them to feel rushed. I don't want to feel rushed. And we just want to be in integrity that like a certain result takes time. And in 6 months, there's just this momentum that's just starting to build. Another 6 months would be a beautiful divine time. And again, the recurring revenue for you, so that you're not stressed out. Oh, I only have income for 2 months, or I only have recurrent income for the next 3 months, and then I'm back to the drawing board. This year gives you so much time in between to build up other parts of your business, to take a vacation, to celebrate life, to do other things besides chasing sales. Okay. And you put this one effort out of a launch, you bring in these sales, and boom, right? Like your life can change very quickly. Okay. So you're just going to circle 6 or 12 months, whatever feels good for you. I'm just telling you what we recommend and what we see best with our clients and myself, but honestly, it's up to you. Whatever you feel good. Yeah, Yvonne, she's very, very loud. We have an English bulldog too, and he's louder, so he's not allowed in here at all. The bulldog family, right? Okay, the next thing I want you guys to do is I want you to circle and think about, do you want your group coaching program to have a start and end date? Or do you want your group coaching program to be rolling admission, open enrollment? Okay. Here's the thing with this. A start and end date means all clients come in at the same time. You close the cart, you close the door, which means no more sales. And all of those people that just signed up, you're all working on the same exact thing at the exact same time, all the way through to the end, right? And then you open it back up and you launch and you bring more people in, and that's kind of the process. The open enrollment admission is where you're going to stack your monthly recurring revenue for 12 months in a row And each client coming in can dive into your curriculum or your process right away, right? And we're going to talk about your curriculum tomorrow. But I want you to decide about what you want this to look like for your clients. So for me, even though my clients are all working toward the same outcome, they're not all at the same place. And so I don't like putting people into a curriculum where it's like, week 1, we're all doing this. And then week 2, we're all doing this. And then week 3, we're all doing, because that doesn't work for everybody. Even though your clients are all working toward the same thing, they're at different stages and ages, and their focus and their priorities and their immediate problems or fires might look differently. And you want to be able to meet them where they're at, which means you can say, hey, based on your onboarding, based on your application, based on what you and I have talked about, this is where you're at, and this is where I want you to start in the curriculum. And that is where personalization comes in. We're not customizing, we're personalizing. Difference, right? So that's where that comes in. And we're going to talk about the systems that you need to have and the ones that are optional here in a minute, so you understand what types of things you want to be setting up in your group coaching program. But for now, I just want you to be thinking about the open enrollment also means you're not capped at your sales. You're going to have people that are going to see things that you put out months after, weeks after, days after, and they might be interested. And so I think it's silly as a business owner to shut doors and to close programs down and people can't buy. Like that does, if you want to buy and you're a fit, you can buy. Like I'm not going to turn clients away. I'm not going to turn sales away that are champion clients that belong in my program that I believe I can help. I'm not going to say, I'm sorry, we open the card in 6 months. You can join then. They're going somewhere else. They're not waiting for your program for 6 months. They're gone. Right? So I prefer rolling a mission. You can join anytime you want. Anytime you want. Money sales can happen every day in that program. Perfectly fine. Right? And that's not going to require anything more from you except a strong onboarding process for each client. That's all. We'll talk about that in a minute, but that's it. It's not going to be like, oh my God, I have a client coming in and we're all doing this already. They just enter your curriculum. And the way you personalize it is tell them where you want them to get started. Okay, so this is very simple. And this doesn't even need to be done by you. At some point, it'll be done by your team. You won't even be doing it. Okay. Okay. So, oh, Karen, no worries. You can catch the replay. All right. So I want you to be thinking about that. Just circle where you're at with that, what you're going to decide. So start in end date or enroll in a mission. And then I want you to think about access. And this is really where people get tripped up in a group coaching program is they feel like, oh my God, I got to give a lot. Let me give group. Let me give Facebook. Let me give Boxer. Maybe I'll do some one-on-one sessions. Maybe they can get some private coaching with me. And we have this long list. You can email me, you can text me, you can whatever, this long list. And here's what's happening. You are associated the value perceived by your clients as it relates to your time you're given. So trading time for money. You're basically saying, my clients are not going to see the value in making the investment in this program unless they have an all access pass to me on speed dial every day of the week. So what you're doing is you're not saying there's any value in your program. You're saying the only value is me. I'm this star of the show. I'm the only value. My program isn't valuable. The community and culture I've created isn't valuable. The intense amount of effort and energy I've put into my curriculum and my process and my structure, my framework, not valuable. The transformation you're going to get, not valuable. Just me. You're paying for me. And that is a massive, massive mistake because sales psychology says clients don't care about you at all. They don't care about us at all. That's not what they care about at all. They want to be in a community where they're going to have an elevated and exceptional experience. all the way to a very simplified, shrunk down process to follow to a specific outcome they want. And that is all the value that they have. That is all they see. The more you know how to talk about that and the better you get at focusing on that and those elements, that is what's going to get people to pay big dollar to join your programs and to invest. It has nothing to do with access to you. People also think, well, if it grows, if the program grows, and I put success coaches to help me serve my clients and help in the areas that are not my specialty, well, then people aren't going to want to be in this program because they're here to learn from me. No, they're not. They're here to learn your process because they want a result. They don't care about you. Yes, they want you to coach, and yes, they want you to be part of things, but guess what's even more valuable? Diversity. Learning from other people, hearing it in a different perspective and way, and learning from other talent beyond you. We don't want to be the star of the show of our program, right? You want your clients to be the star of the program, your experts to be the star of the program, multiple ways for your clients to perceive value, right? No worries, Paula. That's what you want. And so if you sell your program, and the emphasis you put on getting people to join is access to me, access to me, access to me, I'm telling you that that's going to be a big mistake down the road. You're going to have client codependency, okay? And you're going to get burnt out fast, a year max. And you'll be like, oh my God, get me out of this hell I built for myself. This is not sustainable. I'm exhausted. Promise. I haven't seen it any other way. So I really want you to be thinking about that. Access to you can be a weekly group call, the Facebook group, and then bring in some other people, like other experts. They can be people that are there every week. It can be people that come in once a month, once a quarter. You pick and choose based on what everybody needs. It doesn't even matter. Just bring some other talent in that room, right? It could be one of your clients. One of your clients might be freaking exceptional, phenomenal. Maybe you want them to come on and teach something, okay, that you think would be valuable to your community. You don't need to be the star of the show. It gets boring, right? So just think about that. And, the other thing to be thinking about too is, you can do a one-on-one. I typically don't recommend unless like they pay in full or something. Maybe they get like a one-on-one session with you or a Voxer access to you or something like that, where it's like, you're very clear on how we use this space, right? I'm not your psychologist. We're not going to talk about your marital problems. We're not going to talk about how bad everything went last night and how stressed you are today. Like setting boundaries and being very clear. Here's how we use this space. And I'm available between this time and this time on these days. And that's when we can use this. It's a bonus. It's not the juice of the program. It's a bonus. And so you can offer things like that. It's a lot of work, right? Because it's basically stacking a different model onto what you already have. So each offer is a business model. It requires different things. It's done in different ways, right? Group program is not the same as one-on-one, and one-on-one is not the same as automated funnels. These are different things. These are all business models. And so when you think about the one-on-one, it can get time intensive, right? If it's a lot of access to you and a lot of coaching with you and you're doing it with a lot of clients, again, you don't want your business to be dependent on you for everything, okay? And you definitely don't want your clients to do that. You want, when you show up in your program, you want your clients to be like, this is a freaking treat. This is awesome, right? Like, you're here, this is so cool. Not like, oh, it's you again talking about everything. Like, bring somebody else in, right? Okay. The next thing, I want us to go to the next page. I want to go over the core systems that are going to create sustainable, repeatable scale for you. Okay. And I have 9 of them, and they're not all must have. So I'm going to tell you where to put them. There are some must haves and there are some optionals. I'm going to tell you which ones are which. We'll cover a little bit more deeper in some of this throughout the rest of this week. But for right now, I want you to take these in, write these down, because then we're going to pick. Okay. So the 9 core systems, and again, this is what I recommend. The 9 core systems for sustainable, repeatable scale. The first one is a must-have. So this goes in the must-have column. And this is an exceptional enrollment process. An exceptional enrollment process. We also call this our qualifying process. We are going to be talking tomorrow about champion clients and your curriculum. We have some really good juicy things on the agenda for tomorrow, but here's what I'm going to just tell you for now. And we've said this before yesterday, I think. The people that you bring in the program is everything to the success of your program. If you don't have a qualifying process in place, an exceptional enrollment process where only champion gems are coming through, and you're not being particular about qualifying and you're letting people squeeze by, you will pay for that later 10 times over. It's not worth it. It isn't worth the immediate sale for the long-term shit you're going to go through. Okay. I'm talking tons of stuff. It isn't worth getting that sale. Okay. You need to have an exceptional enrollment process. It's a qualifying process. Okay. The next system is a must-have. And this is an onboarding process. This is not the same as your enrollment process. That's qualifying. That's saying yay or nay. You can win, you can't. Your onboarding process is going to be what happens the very second somebody pays you. Because the first, I would say 90 days, but honestly, the first 48 hours is critical because buyer's remorse is absolutely a thing. I don't care if someone signs a contract. If they want to back out, they're going to go through hell and high water to do so. And the first 48 hours, the experience is what will decide if they're going to jump and lean right into your program or they're going to go MIA and you're chasing them all over the place. The first 48 hours is freaking critical. If they don't feel completely indulged, completely connected, completely supported, absolutely like I made the best decision of my life, I am freaking pumped to be here, let's go. If they don't feel that, and they're just kind of sitting around, floundering, confused, overwhelmed, they feel like they got thrown into a group of people and they're floundering like a fish out of water, you're probably going to have buyer's remorse. You're going to have people saying, I don't know if I made the right decision. I think I should back out. Oh my God, freaking out. Posting negative stuff in the group. Anybody else feeling this way? Like you're just going to have a slew of problems. I could probably do a whole session on the problems you're going to have just by letting the wrong person into your program. One bad egg sours the whole batch. It's just not worth it. So you need to have a good onboarding process of what does it look like to continue the experience. So many people will give so much to get the sale. And then when the person joins, it's like all that stops. And they're like, oh, this isn't the experience I've had to this point. What's going on? You got my money and now like you treat me less than? Like what's happening? It's not a good look. Okay, the third must-have. This is a must-have. A sales process for in and out of your launch cycles. Friday, we're actually going to talk about launching to bring champion clients and fill your programs with those people. We're going to map that out Friday. All I want you to know right now is this is not negotiable. If you are only generating sales when you put out an instant effort, like a launch, then you're launch dependent. Your business relies on your launches, and without it, you fail. Your sales dry up, you lose, right? You want to have a process for in and out of your launch cycles. So you want a launch process. Every single month on your calendar, you should be launching something or doing some sort of launch. It doesn't need to be a big signature profit launch, live launch like I teach. I teach that, but then I teach promo cycle and I teach social selling. There's 3 different types of ways that you could be generating daily sales on demand. Awesome, Yvonne. Okay. So write that down, sales on demand. You want to have a process for sales every day coming through the door. Rather you're doing it or a team is doing it or it's being automated or whatever. Okay, the next must-have. The next system that is a must-have is your live coaching call structure. So you want to be thinking about, if you're doing group calls every week with your clients, there needs to be a structure. Like, we don't want to just be like, hey, everybody, let's coach today. Let's talk. You want to have some kind of structure. People like to know what to expect. And we thrive best with structure, when we know what to expect, when we know what's going to happen, what's going to take place, and with consistency. Also, you need to think about your time and what's in best use of the clients. If you have people getting on a coaching call and they're like, oh my God, I'm so stuck. I've been stuck for months and blah, 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 blah. You want them to know this, the day they join your program, this is how you use the coaching. And that's not how. We're not going to drain the energy, hog the call from everybody else and talk about the list of problems we're having that we had last week and the week before. Again, probably the wrong person. But if you don't set the boundaries and the structure of how do we use the coaching calls. So for my clients, for every problem you show up with, you better also have 2 or 3 solutions. And we'll talk about it. But you don't come to the coaching call and tell me, I'm stuck, I'm struggling, been here for years, fix my problems, Ann. That is not happening. That's not my job. It's not my responsibility. And that's not how we're going to run our coaching calls. Also, on my coaching calls, I do 15 or 20 minutes of teaching from the curriculum. So I bring the curriculum to the call and we cover it. And then we open up and we have questions. The other thing I do, or don't do anymore, is I don't call on you. You'll either get value from listening to what everybody else is getting coached on, or you'll show up with a question. But I'm not going to chase people down and around, up, down, all around. Hey, do you have a question? Do you have a question? And try to pull it out of you. If you don't come to the call with your support already in hand and with your question, then you're unprepared. I'm not. I'm here ready to coach you. You're unprepared. So set in boundaries of here's how we use these calls. Here's how they go. And my calls are 60 minutes, period. They're not 90. They're not 2.5 hours because of whatever reason. They're 60 minutes. Come prepared. Right? Now you can have, I used to have a list where people had to enter their name and their question. And we went in the order of whoever put their name. You could do that. There's no right or wrong. You need to figure out, how can I best support people in 60 minutes, whether there's 50 people or 300 on this call. Not everyone's going to show up and not everyone's going to ask a question. But your job also is get people to the call. Yeah, right? You see someone not showing up, pull them in, reach out, connect with them. What's going on? Get on the coaching session, because those are the people that are going to start backing out, right? If you just let them hang. And get them on the calls. There's going to be value for everybody. All right. These are optional. You don't have to do these. The first one is gamification. I actually have someone in my audience who this is like her specialty. But gamification, so using games, using rewards, using incentive to boost engagement and get your clients to participate. And the way that you want to focus and look at this is like, you want to gamify the actions that are going to get them a result. So we're not like gamifying the whole program. So it's just going to be like, let's all play. There's going to be things that you can incorporate where it's like, this is the reward, or here's the incentive for those who accomplish X. Right? Like there, again, I mean, way to spice it up instead of it being boring. Even though we are adults, we still like to be challenged. We still like to have fun. We like to be incentivized. Okay? That is optional. The next optional is what I call a scale plan. You can call it a growth plan. You can call it a result track. I don't care what you call it. Basically, it's a personalized book, like workbook or PDF or a map or something that says, here's basically the framework I take my clients through to get the results, and then leave some blanks where they can put in their personalized steps that they want to take. But basically, it's a roadmap. It's like, here is the way you're going to get results in the program, but you want to have it so they can add in their own thing. So for example, for me, we recommend you do 5 launches a year, live signature profit launches per year, no less. Okay. So in my scale plan for my clients, I will say, I will leave the number blank. So you're going to do the launch, but you get to pick how many of them you're going to do. That's up to you. See what I mean? So it's personalized. They get to put the things and make the decisions, right? They get to make the decisions on the framework. So we create the framework and then they plug in their individual things in that workbook. Now they have a personalized plan, but it's not you having to do it one by one. It's already done. Create the workbook, keep the fillables, let them fill that part in. You set the structure. I like having this, but it's optional. There's other ways. You can literally do a video and say, okay, I'm going to walk you guys through. If you're here, this is where you're going to start. If you're here, you'll start here in the membership. You can walk them through that way. There's no right or wrong, but you need to think about how can I set them up for success in the most simplified way, in a way that is set up for scale. So I'm not one by one doing this. You can also just do onboarding calls where you'll give each person an opportunity to kind of share a little bit, and you can give them some personalized action steps and focuses, and they can go off that way. It's a little less accountable, but at the same time, they are in charge of pulling that workbook out and following it. Are they going to do that? Who knows, right? So pick and choose the effort. And again, you can always make improvements every 90 days and change something if it's not working. That's optional. The next optional system is a regular progress and client feedback or survey. So a regular way of getting client feedback or client check-ins. I do these quarterly. Every quarter we have a form. We have people fill it out and tell us your experience. Tell us what you love, what you don't love, what you want to see more of, less of, all the things. And we want to find out if they are planning to renew with us and stay with us, or would they? Or is there any reason you wouldn't tell a friend about the program? Things like that. You want to get their feedback so you can make proper changes, not just any changes in your program every 90 days. So we'll do these. And then about a month or so later, I'll do like a State of the Union or something like that, where I'm like, hey guys, I'm getting on Zoom and I'm announcing the changes that are coming up based on the surveys and feedback you have given us. And then we announce the timelines and the changes that are coming so everybody knows what to expect. This is optional, but I think that if you're not getting this feedback from people, I don't know how you're going to improve your program. I don't know how you're really truly going to know what's working and what's not working for people. And you might make changes in the wrong places. You might put way more effort than you need to when all you had to do was tweak one little tiny thing. So feedback from your clients, I think it's very important, but it's not a must-have. The next optional system, we just have these last two, and then we're going to go into you deciding the format and we'll wrap up. The next optional one is a referral program. I kind of feel like this should be a must-have, but it's really not. You don't have to do it. A referral program, you should have these in your workshops that you do 5 or more times a year, and you should have these in your paid program, all of your paid programs. And a referral program is not just, hey guys, tell your friends about us and we'll give you this incentive. This is about you actually creating a training with swipe and details and making it so easy for your clients and your audience to go share this with their audience and their people. They should know exactly who your people are, so they send you the right people. And you should be doing this with people that you want more of, right? You don't need to have your clients that you're like, oh my gosh, like this isn't working. Hey, go refer your friends to me. It's probably not going to be the best idea, right? So you want to set up a referral program that really educates your clients on who should refer, who should you refer, right? And here's how you refer. And here's what we will do for you when you do it. Now we do commission. So basically our clients can refer like 5 people that join the program, and they just earn commissions that paid for the whole program. The rest of the program for them is now profit. They don't have no monthly payment if they want to add it to that, right? So they can pay off their program or they can use it for something else. It doesn't matter. But we like to let people know you can refer like 5 people to the program. And if those 5 people actually join, you just earn enough to pay for the whole program. And the rest of the time with us is all profit for you. So there's different incentives. You don't have to do money. I'm just giving you an idea. In the beginning, I did not do money. I did like a session or something like that, or VIP or whatever, because I didn't have money. I had time. So you choose and then advance as you go. The next optional thing is an offboarding or exit process. These are challenging. These are a little uncomfortable, but I think they're really important. And it really helps to have a nice, smooth exit plan, right? So when people leave your program, you leave on really good terms. And so an exit offboarding is, again, it's just like the onboarding. It's just like your surveys. You're getting that data and you're really learning, why didn't they renew? Why didn't they see the success that they wanted? Or maybe they did see success, but how come they're not going to renew? What's going on? Maybe they want a better community. Maybe they're looking for something else. You want to know this because it could be things you could be offering that you're not, because you're not aware that people need it or want it, right? You also want to know if people are leaving because of you or because of structure or other people in your program. You want this data as the leader because this is how you make your program better and better every time. They're uncomfortable conversations. So the way that you can do them is you can just send out the form and hope people fill it out. Or you can have them fill out the form and get on a 10 or 15-minute call with you just to kind of fill the gaps and just connect for a second and wish them well as they leave, right? Or sometimes what we have is people will do the exit and then they end up ascending into a higher level program because they were just done with this program. Well, guess what? Without that conversation, we wouldn't have known that you were looking for this and this is the next program. So again, it's just good to do, but it is optional. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next page. Let's do your format and delivery, and we'll do some quick Q&A if there's any, if you guys want to pop questions in the chat before we wrap up, okay? Format and delivery options, you get to choose. You do not need to do all of this. When it comes to this, we have 8 things, okay? So number 1, weekly group calls. Inside your group coaching program, these could be training calls, coaching calls, or a combination. I do a combination. Typically, I will come with about 15, 20-minute max training on something I think most people need, and it's from the curriculum. So we pull from there, bring it to the call, and then we open up for what questions do you guys have, and people will share their questions, or they'll share, I'm having this challenge. Here's what I've come up with. What do you think? So it's kind of combo. Number 2, one-on-one calls from either you or a team member. And this is definitely not a must. We talked about this. It is something you can add. I like to do things for people that pay in full. It's usually not one-on-one calls. I don't like to be tied up like that. I don't typically do that. But if you really love that, again, you just need to think about what is scalable. If you bring 50 to 100 people, can you give everybody one-on-one calls? No, absolutely not. You can't do that, right? So you just gotta be, that's why I want you thinking long-term, not just today. Okay, number 3, a group community. And this is the sauce, guys, of your pasta, okay? This is everything. This is what keeps the clients there, okay? The community that you create. Now, you can do this in a Facebook group. You can do it in a LinkedIn group. You can do it in a third-party app like Slack or some other thing. It doesn't matter. There needs to be a co-creative, collaborative community with high elevating conversations taking place where nobody feels they're the smartest in the room. There is diversity, there's awesome conversations, there's great energy, there's, different types of people that are doing different things, right? So you want to make sure that you put on your sales page, your invitations, your marketing, a big emphasis on the community. Share testimonials, share client wins, talk about your clients, the amazing people doing amazing things in your program, and how you're so grateful you have this awesome community that you built. Talk about that a little bit more because people pay an iTicket, they want that. Okay, that is one of the things they want more than anything, is that being in that room. Okay. The next thing, number 4, I think, Ron, is group Voxer. So you could do like a group Voxer chat where it's like, you'll get put into a group Voxer. Everyone in the program is in there and we can collaborate, talk, coach, ask questions, share wins, do all the things, some check-ins, whatever you want. That is going to be another place that you have to set the boundaries and you have to lead that group. If your clients are leading the group, it's going to be crazy making chaos. It's going to become a gossip forum and it's going to be a complaining center. People are going to be like, and you're not there. So they are running amok. There's no direction. There's no boundaries. There's no focus in that group. It can get bad where you have to like take people out or be like privately messaging, hey, Don't do that in the group. So this is something that you have to set the boundaries. Here's how we use it. And you lead it and be in charge of that for them if you offer that. You can also, number 5 is private Voxer. So if you want to offer people private Voxer and that's something you love and it's easy, you feel like, hey, I could do it on the beach, I could do it wherever, I don't mind doing it, then you want to go ahead and offer that if you want to. Like I said, I typically offer it to people that pay in full. If you pay in full, or if you're like a one-on-one client and you're joining my programs, you get the Voxer automatically. And this doesn't even have to be done by you. If you have a team member that can manage these things, let them do it. And you will over time if you follow the process right. Number 6, accountability. This does not mean you need to chase clients around every day and be like, oh, let me help you. Let me do this. That accountability is setting things up for clients to be successful. So setting up some way to nudge people when they're kind of like falling off, or to check in with people on how are you doing. This could be automated posts in your group. This could be emails that go out each week. This could be a form you send out. This could be someone on your team doing regular like DM or email or whatever type of chats or texts. You could have people, all of your clients get on text messaging and you can send out a weekly text to everybody. I don't care how you do it. Just think of a way that is scalable, that you can have some kind of accountability structure in place that isn't dependent on you dialing and getting on hour-long calls with everybody in your program for weekly accountability. We are working with adults, and adults thrive inside structure. So if they know how to use things and they have systems and structure, and you're leading and you're setting these things up, they will be successful. It'll be a very, very small percent of people that won't do it. Okay, so just think about that. And then number 7, resources. So Swipe, Tweak, and Go copy or templates, SOPs, processes for how you, like I like to have a process, like an SOP for each part of my systems, where I have in my membership what we call the Swipe Vault. And the Swipe Vault is basically clients get access to all of our templates, all of our Swipe copy, all our templates, all our things, and we'll always add in and update in those. And it makes it easy for clients to swipe. Now, this does not mean copy my stuff and not use your own voice or make it yours. That's a huge misunderstanding. For anyone who thinks, oh, I can grab your Swipe copy for Instagram and become a millionaire, I've never seen that happen. You have to be your own voice and your own personality, and you need to speak the way you speak. So when my clients use our Swipe, they're tweaking it and they're making it their own. Okay. And that is something that you can offer. But I think SOPs are really nice. Like here's a step-by-step way of each part of your framework. Okay. And the final one, number 8, curriculum. This is your framework. It's your proven process. It's your methodology. It is literally the step-by-step process that your clients are going to go through to get a result. And you never want clients to sit around in your program and be like, oh, I'm waiting for the coaching call, because that's all we got. You want them implementing your curriculum and getting results, right? So you definitely want to make sure this is not about giving everybody an all access pass to you. And here's the thing, when you join our program, we don't just throw you in the whole curriculum because it is kind of confusing. You get access to the curriculum, but we have a scale plan and we have an onboarding call and we give you direction. We have a starting point for everybody. We have you go in and do what I call my sales demand. And basically you spend the first week or 2 in the program of earning your investment back. We give you Swipe and very specific action steps, and you go do them for 1 to 2 weeks and earn your investment back. And then we put you into, guide you into the rest of the curriculum, where now we're going to start getting your launches on the books. We're going to start getting focused on launching and filling up your program. But people who are financially stressing and struggling and all this stuff, they're not even going to focus on your curriculum. So what do you want to do? Provide something really quick for them as a win. As soon as you join the program, we're going to do this little thing right here. Instead of throwing them into your whole curriculum and being like, go have fun, go have fun. Instead, we say, you start right here on the sales on demand. For 1 to 2 weeks, you're going to follow this curriculum to the T, and you're going to earn your investment back. And then we're going to dive into the actual curriculum of the program. That's a quick win. Who doesn't want to earn their investment back and have the rest of the year with us profit? Who doesn't want to learn that technique for the rest of their life? And it keeps them focused. So they're not like, oh my God, you have 8 different areas. Which one should I do? And they're bouncing all over. They're not going to be successful that way. Okay. I'm going to give you a homework, which is also in the workbook. And we have a thread in the group where you can drop this, and we want to do some Q&A. So here's what I want you to do for your homework. I want you to think about what we've covered yesterday and today as it relates to your goals, your values, your lifestyle that you want, not just today, but going forward. And I want you to choose 2 to 3 elements total that we've covered that you're going to incorporate right away into your group coaching program that you already have or that you're redesigning or creating. But these 2 to 3 elements you are going to incorporate right away. What are those 2 to 3 elements? And then what are 1 or 2 more over the next 6 or so months that you'll add? So we're looking in the future. We're going to make it even better in 6 months, but we'll start small. Because if you try to add all this now, these are systems. So this takes time to set up, to test, to implement, to improve and get good. You can't do all you probably can't even do 3. But I just want you to think about 2 to 3 right away that you're going to spend the next 6 or so months really mastering. And then what 1 or 2 over the next 6 or so months are you going to incorporate? So we're continuously improving, right? Oh my God, so good. All right, we have questions. Let's see what's in the chat. And then we can open up too if anybody wants to ask live. Okay, Lois said, wondering your thoughts on year-long program where there are 3 major elements of getting your business foundations in order, developing your signature program, and marketing your program. Do you think it may work better with ascending to next level of covering all, but not given false expectations? If they are rebuilding foundations, they not get their marketing dialed in for the first year. I mean, it might be, Lois, it might be like the evolution of ascending them. So maybe in like one program, it's like we get this set up because we do want to be realistic. That is the thing. I'm glad you brought that up. You do want to be thinking about the client when they look at what you say you're going to accomplish. Does that feel heavy? Does that feel like, ooh, that's a lot? I'm a mom, I'm busy, I got a full-time job, I got life, whoo, how am I going to do all that stuff? And this is why I say one result, one little thing. So maybe if you are similar to Lois and you're like, we have elements, like levels of like what we're doing here, then maybe what you're doing is separating, where it's like in this first program for our first year together or whatever that looks like, we're going to get this in place and working like a well-oiled machine. Then you can graduate. Once you meet this criteria, you can graduate into this program. And over here, we'll spend a year doing this together. And it's that next level. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I particularly brought it up because we're finding with the people we're working with now that there's so many foundational elements that are missing, and they rushed it the first time through that I don't want them to feel like the push to rush it this time so that they can move on to the big thing they want to get done.
100%. And that's exactly it. So for you, it would be like 2 tiers. It'd be a graduation, right? So for me, people will come into the PE program and they'll stay there for 12 months. And during that time, it's not saying that they aren't maybe somewhat qualified or have criteria to do the next thing, but it's like we have to dial in the first thing. So it's like in this program, in the first year in PE, we're really going to get the design, the launch, and the delivery of your group coaching program down pat, meaning it's all running and profitable, and you probably have 1 to 2 team members that are helping you execute that, and you are generating consistent multiple 5 figures every single launch, a minimum of 5 times a year, where you're generating 250 to 500,000 per year from that one offer. Because we're not focusing in that program on any other offers you have. We are focusing on your group program. So with that one offer, as soon as you generate 250 to 500,000 a year of recurrent revenue from that, we advance you into momentum, because momentum is the mastermind. And that is where you focus on building your SOPs for the processes and systems and foundations we just put together and that you've mastered. Now you're going to create the SOPs. You're going to look at who else you need to hire on your team so that you can step out a little bit more. You're going to look at adding other layers of revenue sources. And so that's another scale. I don't want to stuff all of that in one program, because then you're going to have people that want to skip steps and rush to get here. It's like, you're here for this amount of time, and then we'll graduate you there, but we give criteria. So if you're in the PE program and you're not really progressing by the end of the 12 months, we ask you to renew so we can keep improving, but we don't ascend you to the next because you're not there. You haven't graduated and you don't meet the criteria yet. And that is how clients can have really great success, because you're in charge. If you leave it up to them, like you said, they want to skip steps, they want to rush, they want to get to the good stuff. We all want to get to the good stuff quick, and we skip all the things that create the good stuff. So then we end up backpedaling. So we want to lead as leaders. We want to be the dictators of when you're ready, and we have criteria and timelines for you. When you're ready, you'll advance. If we need to renew another term so we can keep getting these things in place and get them great, then that's what we'll do. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yep. That's exactly how I want you guys thinking. Like, that's why you want to have these regular conversations and things with your clients, because, and again, we tell everyone it's a multi-year program. You're not coming in for like 5 months. No, we don't have a trial period. You're coming in for 12 months and here's what we're doing. And people that don't want to do that, they don't want to work on that specific thing, they're not going to join your program, right? They're only going to join your program if they want that outcome. And so this really eliminates some of those bottom feeders that aren't going to be a good fit for that. So yeah, we just want to be thinking about that as well. Lisa, you said you had a question?
So I had, as you know, a 12-month program because I worked with you, and that's how we structured it.
Yeah.
And so my business has changed a little bit because I'm doing a lot more lead gen stuff now. So I shifted a few things in my business since then. I had the 12-month program out there and I was promoting it. The feedback that I was getting is that it's too long. What I did was, and I just want your thoughts on this because I value your opinion greatly. What I did was I made it a 6-month program, kept the price the same because they're getting the same stuff. Learned that from you. They are getting the same value out of that program, whether it's 12 months, whether it's 6 months. But what I did, and I feel like this is kind of a win for like everybody, but I just want your thoughts on it. I now have an option where they can, it's a really discounted price where they can renew for 3 or 6 months, their choice. I know they cannot get results in 6 months, just like you were saying. I know this. So I wasn't sure what to, because I just kept getting the same feedback over and over and over. So I wasn't sure how to think about that. And you're really good with this stuff. So.
Yay. Okay. I love this question. I think that the first thing that came to my mind, the second you said that people were saying it's kind of a long period of time, they're not seeing the value.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that too. Yeah.
The value in, not necessarily you or the program, but the value in the thing you're teaching. They need to understand this is a long game. This is something that is going to take time. This isn't a one and done quick overnight, kind of like I've been saying, like any long lasting results are going to take time. It's like trying to lose weight. You're not going to do that by exercising one time and then calling it a day. You're not going to deliver a baby in under 9 months. Like there's things that just take time. And as the leaders and experts, it really is our job to really share with people why this is so important and why anything less is just not going to be feasible. Now, what I would do is I would have people, if you feel like this is a long time, let's really revisit your goals. Because if this is what you want to accomplish, I'm just telling you, it's going to take this amount of time. Maybe you're not ready for that right now. And maybe it's something a little bit on a smaller scale. And then you'd be fit for maybe something different. So it's kind of, again, that proper placement. You don't want anyone coming in your program that's bitching about the length of your program, right? You want people who want to come in that incubator and have that experience and get to the goal. So right away, my very first thing is they're not seeing the value in what you're teaching. And so they don't see that it should be so long because they're not seeing the value. If they really understood the value, they would understand why this is a year-long incubator, right?
I totally get that. I agree. I'm not sure where that leaves me because I did kind of, I don't even know what I have on my website right now. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea. But yeah, because I did make it 6 months, and I did market it that way for a while. But I know because I've gone through your process. I know that they need 12 months or more. I know. And I'm still stuck on that because I know in my mind, I'm like, I can't get you miracles in 6 months. Like this just isn't gonna happen.
No, it's not.
So, okay. So that's food for thought for
I
me.
think my recommendation would be to relook at your promise of your program.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today.
Let's look at the promise of the program and get that really crystal clear. And maybe even in some of your content, it's addressing some of the objections that people are having with around this topic and the time it takes, right? So you could talk about, so like Lois said, actually, a good like objection for you, Lois, would be like, let's talk about how people skip this and they rush through to get to here. And then what happens? You got to go all the way back anyway, because these are the things that produce this to begin with. And so
that's what we found. Yeah. Is the more we talk about, like, you know, the foundational elements of drilling in your avatar and getting your mission statement and your vision statement and being really clear about all that, it sets the underpinning for everything. And if you don't spend the time to do that, you're going to be fumbling and misstepping all the way along the way.
Yeah. And you're going to
totally agree.
Right? You're going to have to do it anyway. So here's part of what I want you guys to really think about is like, own this, own it, because they're looking for you to be confident in your process. And if you waver and you're like wishy-washy with it, you're not going to get that buy-in. You want to own this confidently that you're the expert and this is what it takes. And honestly, when you really show up with that and you articulate that really well, people don't really have that objection, right? They really don't have that because you're not carrying it and you're not focusing on it and you're not entertaining that idea. And your content is really focused on, here's why this is so critical. Like I create content all the time that says, here's why I love year-long programs. Here's why I love high-ticket group coaching programs. Here's what I think is the big difference between this and this. And here's what most coaches do that end up putting them right back here again. And so if you address those things in a really positive way, what you're doing is you're educating your audience. And now you're not educating them so much on why they need this, but you're educating them on the value of attaining that and that it takes some time, right? And so I think doing that and then really dialing in, this is the program promise. This is an incubator. This is like, you're here. This is a multi-year program. It's going to weed people out, but it's going to weed out the people that shouldn't be there to begin with. And it's going to allow for the right people to come in, even if that's 5 instead of 10, right? It's bringing in the right people and it's getting rid of the people that want to bitch about, oh my God, a year to build my business.
It's not magic. It's just not magic, people.
Right. What do we think it takes, right? So those probably are not people that are going to come in and really get the value of the program and contribute to the community. They're the ones that are going to come in and be like, I don't see why it takes a whole year to build a business. Like, I just want some Instagram swipe and make $1 million. What are we doing here? So again, you want to think a lot of people are really infatuated with, I can download someone's swipe and I can make $1 million on Instagram. I can take this course and in 8 weeks, I can have $1 million business, even though it took everybody else years. I'm the exception to that. You want to understand the mindset. So the way that you can understand the mindset of the people in your community is listen to what they're saying. when they're saying something and you look at them cross-eyed, like, what are you thinking? Like, what? That's your sign right there. Tomorrow we're going to talk about this with champion clients. But a big part that I want you guys to take home with this is the sophistication of your clients around what you do. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow, because that's a big part of a champion client. They're already sophisticated around the thing that you're teaching. They already love it. They're obsessed with it. They want to master it. They want to do it. They're excited about it. They already know why it's valuable. Like, I don't need to tell anybody who's participating in this workshop why a high ticket group coaching program is so valuable. Yes, we're sharing little things and we're having conversations, but you already know you want to do this. Most of you are already doing it. Like, that's the point. If people are coming in, they're like, oh, I don't have a business, I guess they're not going to understand this. They're not going to think it's valuable. They're not going to be able to retain it right now. They're definitely not going to join a program around it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the sophistication level of your ideal champion client around what you do, oh my God, that's game changer. That's a huge, and you know what it is just by what they put on their application, the questions they ask, the things that they say, you can tell. And so we're going to talk a lot about that tomorrow, because this is going to help you weed people out and in and redefine your message, redefine who you're talking to and how you're talking and how you're extending invitations to come check out your program or work with you. This is all going to play a very, very big part. We can create programs left and right. We can sell left and right. We can market left and right. We can do all these things that we need to do. But if this is off and we're bringing all the wrong people, you're going to work really hard to try and get them over the fence to see the value. So for you, Lisa, they don't see the value, not in you, but in the thing you're going to help them do. For them, they probably want a little quick overnight success win.
Yeah, you actually just like clear. I mean, first of all, I allowed them to dictate it to me. Hello.
Sure.
So, and I know that it's going to take 12 months or more.
Yep.
And, and I don't think I was doing a good enough job, with the content that I was putting out to show them the value. So I got to revisit that. So this was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Right through from Lisa, left and right. And that's really, really important. So we're going to wrap. I know we have a lot of people catching replays because we went over again today, but this is good stuff. These are great conversations. We're going to keep doing this. We still have 2 days. We have tomorrow, we have Friday, same time, same place. And tomorrow we're actually going to get into the things we're going to cover tomorrow, your curriculum. We're going to talk about that and figure those steps out. We're going to talk about champion clients, and we're going to talk about your community culture as it relates to the group program. So we're going to start bringing some good stuff. And then Friday, what a great way to end the week. We're going to talk about different launch options and cycles that you could be doing. We have a few different things that we've come up with over the past couple of years that are so good. So we're going to talk about those different things, and you're going to actually pick something and put it on the calendar and get ready to launch a group coaching program. So really excited about all of that. If you guys have questions, let me know. We are going to put this replay on that page. We'll email that out to you guys as soon as it's uploaded with today's workbook. And then in the Facebook group, we do have your daily homework where you can pop that in there and we can discuss that and go through all that. All right, you guys, this is so good. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.